Hello, I'm Vusi. I consider myself a futurist. I'm not here to teach you forex or because you've seen a chart like this before. Usually it's people showing you things about forex and stuff like that. So I'm not here to talk about that. Really, the reason I'm opening this chart is because this is there's a currency pair. It's a pair of US dollar, as you see here on the top, as you can see here on the top here 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 on the top here on the left hand corner, on top left. Yes, so here US ZAR, which means it's a US dollar against the rand. So basically I'm trying to show you that this is how the importance of this basically. So in actually predicting the economy. So basically, we have to predict the economy. But maybe not all of us, but it will give us insight to know what is happening in our economy, what will happen in the future, so that we can start making decisions. So it's better to actually start making decisions now for the future, so that you secure that future. If you know that things are going to be dim, let's say people knew that there was going to be Hitler, there was going to be war that would end in 1945. People would have prepared for it, but nobody prepared for that depression that was caused by that war. Even in 2008, when there was a depression there, nobody actually prepared for it. So it's good to just prepare yourself for a future. So if you have the ability, few people have the ability to predict. There are people who did correct predictions of the future. uh, there are people that did that, but if it's not something that's interested you at the time, you wouldn't have known. Even myself, I wasn't interested at that time. Like when I grew up, I didn't mind to I just it's like I was just pushed by the wind, whichever direction the wind wanted to take me, wind being the economy. So if the economy of the country, this is South African, this is a US dollar against South African rand. So those are two currencies, a US dollar, which is from your currency used in the United States, and a ZAR, which is a rand, which is a currency used in South Africa. So if our our currency is strong, it means that it has high buying power, a strong buying power. If it's weak, it means it has a weak buying power. So you need a lot of it to buy something, to buy the same. Okay, first of all, let's just make it, let me simplify it for you. So I will simplify it with an example here. So as you can see, this thing on the bottom that is red is just a thing that show the line, this line, the red line. Look at the bottom, it changes, the numbers change, which shows that this is 2002, which is the year. You understand? In the middle, there's months. Like this is 2002, 05, 07, 08, 09, 12. You understand? So it's like that. So basically, this is the month. So what it doesn't show the dates, basically just show the month, and the day, the year and the month basically. So now what I know for sure is that in this year, the beginning, let's look at the beginning of the chart. It shows the 2000, year 2000. So it shows year 2000. So in the year 2000, as you can see there, the there's this chart. Okay, first of all, I have to just teach you a thing or two about the chart. So this all here is history. All here is history. From here to that side is all history. So what is going to happen is on the blank. As you can see here, there's a blank after this, and make it clear for you. So I'll try not to be quick so that you can understand clear. After this here, that black, these are candles basically, they are called candlesticks. So these candlesticks, the black ones, after this one, it's the future that nobody knows. So now this black candle is for this month. You understand? This black candle here is for this month, which is in 2021. This is a fourth month. You understand? So it's this month, but next month is going to, the thing is going to be here. The other month, as months keep going until December, it's going to be here. So for now we are just here. So now when you are looking at the history, you can't look at the future without looking at the history, at the past. You have to look at the past, what happened in the past. So if you want to predict, just like when you want to formulate an argument, or you want to formulate a theory, you have to look at what has happened in the past and look at a pattern that has occurred. And then if there's valid evidence that's okay, due to this pattern, then this thing happens, then you can make your own theory based on that. But on this regard here, on this thing I'm talking about here, basically it's the economy of the country. So we know that this number here, this color, now I need to set it up to a color that we all can relate with. Let me make it a black color. Okay, so this black color here, as you can see, it moves on the right side. As you can see, it moves up. Forget the line, just look at the numbers. So it moves up. So it means when it's 5.45 like this, it means this is 5 rand, this is 5 rand 45, 6 rand 45, 8 rand 45, 10 rand 45, 11 rand 45, 11 rand, I mean 72, 8 rand 33, 18 rand 33. It goes up, it keeps going up. So it means when it was at the bottom here, so when you take this black number against that red number there on the other end, which is in year 2000, you see that? Yes, you will see that it means that in year 2000, the price, the currency was 6 rand. So basically, if you wanted to know how much the dollar was worth, you could say whatever how much you could buy a product that was $1. You could say, okay, that product is actually 6 rand in South Africa. A product that is $1 costs 6 rand. So it means, but now you realize that companies don't buy products that like one product. So if each dollar is like 6 rand, so if a company buy a million products, no, that cost millions of dollars, that means they have to pay millions of 6 rands. You understand? For each dollar, they pay 6 rand. I hope you understand that. So it means, okay, fine, they'll pay 6 rand for each dollar. They do that and they bring those products, and then we start working, because we work for companies, right? They employ us, we work, we get our salaries. So those companies, they pay us even after buying these raw materials. Then they sell those things to us, whether they sell as wholesale or retail, or they produce products, finished products for us. It doesn't matter, but what matters is that they buy these products overseas using dollars, and then but they have to pay. They don't pay in dollar, they pay in rand. But in converting the dollar to rand, which means $1 is equal to 6 rand. So if $1 is equal to 6 rand, it means if you are buying something that costs 6 million, $1 million, it means you will have to pay 6 million rands, because you say $1 million times 6 rand. So this 6 rand. So at that period, you could buy for something for what that cost at each dollar. For each dollar, you pay 6 rand. I hope you understand each other. So now, forget the arrows that are here. Let me just remove the arrows so that you understand. Let me remove everything so that I start in a way that you understand. So this arrow is basically, for me, it's me moving this arrow, right? So I'm moving this arrow to show you the direction. As you can see, arrows we use arrows to show direction. So the direction up means when this on this 6 rand, this when the rand was against dollar was 6 rand, it's moved up here, as you can see in the chart, until it's reached. You see that that blue that I'm moving, it's 14 now, it's 12 now. Yes, we move it exactly to this top here, and then we realize, oh, what's happening now? We realize that the rand moves up until it reaches 1380. What does that mean for us? So what it means, when is this period? This period is here at the top, which is 2001-12, which is December 2001. So from year 2000 to December 2001, our economy reached this level, which was the top, but it's not really at the top. This is a bottom. So you have to put this in your head now, that it's not when the arrow, when this chart shows the top, it's not a good thing for the rand. It means when it's on the top, it means the rand has lost its value. Oh God, now I have to delete files. Jeez, now this thing has to happen now. This thing has to happen now. Jeez. Okay. What do I delete? Just delete some videos. Okay. So excuse me, the phone just disturbed me. I hope, let's just clean up some stuff and see if it's still gonna give me some issues. Okay, we are back. So forgive me for that break, but it's technology. We have to update and stuff like that. So now let's continue where we were. It means now that the economy now is the now let me explain this thing in layman term. But you know now that in 2001 the thing was on top, right? The price was on top. It was no longer here. It was no longer here. It moved up to 13, right? So what that means is, like I said, it's bad news when it moves up, because it means it's the dollar that moves up. Again, if the dollar moves up against us, it means if it moves up, it means we are going down. You understand? So it means that this is down for us when the dollar is up. This is good for Americans, but it's bad for us. You understand? It's best for us. So when it's bad for us, it means for the same thing that we bought for 6 rand in year 2000, that same thing, same product, we had to pay 13 rand for it. For each dollar we paid, for each dollar we paid 6 rand. So now let's look at this a little bit. Wait. Okay. For each dollar now, what we do is, for each dollar we pay 13 rand instead of 6 rand. What does that mean? It means that that thing that we bought for 6 rand, now it's 13 rand each, even though it's still a dollar. So it means so this is like about, because from 6 to 12, that's 100%, right? Yeah, that's 100%. It means we doubled the number that we had. So which is 6 times 2. You understand? So we doubled, which means this is 100%. So let's make an example of like 100%, which means if it's like here it's 12 rand, it means something that's costed half the price, or that's costed us, if they charged us 6 rand for each dollar, it means that we we were we bought for 1 million, like at for 1 million we bought something, for $1 million we paid 6 million rands. Like we said, 1 million times 6. You understand? So what also now what's happening, because now that the rand now is 12, for $1 million we're paying, instead of 6, we are paying now 12 million for the same product. You understand? The same, it's just been a year. Now, the product was 1 million. Those products we were buying, let's say we are buying the company, actually, the companies, different companies, big companies that hire us to do some work here. We are working for different kinds of companies, big companies here in South Africa. They are buying products overseas so that they can produce for us. So those companies now, they have to pay 12 million for something, for something they paid a year ago. They only paid 6 million. What do you think is going to happen? What's going to happen, guys, is that the company that you work for will start looking at, because the company wants profit. The company doesn't want to go bankrupt. What it's going to do, it's going to perhaps see what they can do to cut the costs. They don't want to pay 6 million. They don't want to pay 12 million for something they paid for something they for the same thing they paid 6 million for. So what they're going to do is, because that's paying double for the same thing, even you wouldn't want that. So it's not good for business, because they won't increase the price of that product they were selling just because they're paying 12. They won't increase it to meet this. What they will do, they will decrease the number of products they are buying. You understand? If last year they bought 500,000 products that cost the same product, if they bought 500 products or raw material, maybe this year they will buy half, 250,000. When they buy 250,000, they will produce half the product, which means if they produce half, it means they need half the staff. So they will have to cut down employees. They will have to retrench people. So from this period, year 2000 to year 2001, December, year 2001, or at the end of year 2001, or at the beginning of year 2002, from that period, they were cutting people as the economy was actually increasing, because they don't do it when it's here at the top, because now they see, oh, first of all, it starts slow, this thing, the economy, it was 6 rand, right? Okay, then you can see here it's moving to 7 rand, it's moving to 8 rand, it's moving to 9 rand. You see, it's for something that they used to pay 6 million, now they say they're paying 9 million. They will realize, oh, let's cut the cost, let's cut the supplies, let's cut the factories. They have to cut down some factories maybe, because now the rental is also costing them. When the rental is costing them, they will cut down. Then the real estate industry will suffer. People that work in real estate, like real estate agents, they will suffer, because now what's going to happen, then the buildings, they won't be rented out. They will rent less because of the high cost now of living. You understand? So this is where inflation takes place, because now things are more expensive for no apparent reason. It's not like there's a change of quality in the damn thing, or it's version 2.1. No, it's still the same thing. So what is happening is the economy, as you can see, it's just falling. So our economy declined to year 2002. So the point I'm trying to make here, when the economy declines, everything for us is bad as employees, as business people, because like if you're a business person, you had products, you obviously have products. Even if you're a business, you have to order something, so that you have to order, whether it's raw material or it's finished product, but you want to sell it to the end consumer, to the end user. So the end user has to buy it at the right price. If it's expensive where you are buying it, your business might not even go well. The cost of starting business becomes more expensive. So what's happening if the economy is bad? Even banks are reluctant to give people loans, you understand, to give people mortgages, because now the economy is bad. The people, they can't be able to pay back their bonds and stuff like that. People are getting retrenched. Some people will commit suicide after getting retrenched. Some people will go through divorce is very devastating, especially for children. So for people that just for people that are married, before you divorce someone, you gotta find the reason. It's got to be something very, very super valid. It has to be valid beyond any doubt. Because even if there's a little doubt, don't divorce, because it's bad for kids. Because you might think life is about your own freedom. Maybe as a woman or as a man, you might think, what about my own freedom? But no, once you bring someone in this life, you bring a child, that person takes paramount, is the person that is now you have to consider before yourself. So divorce is very bad for kids because it changes everything. Sometimes they have to change schools, they have to change where they live. Their house will be sold, or they will live in that same house, but their privileges will decrease because the income earner is no longer there. There are a lot of dynamics, even though there are laws that protect children, but there's nobody that can protect your kid than yourself. So before you divorce, you must first look thoroughly, is this the right reason? Even if somebody, you lost trust for someone, but that's you losing trust for that person. If the kids haven't lost trust for that, you can just stay for your kids. Because now you can, even if you can make an arrangement. I'm not a marriage counselor, so I'm just going to tell you that for kids it's bad. But like here, even your life in year 2000 could have changed. Maybe your parents had divorced because your mother was leaving your father for the fact that they just lost their job and they were fighting all the time, and it changed your life. So this thing of the economy going bad, actually it impacts our life, whether we are kids or whether we are workers, or whether we are in school. Because even if you are in school, there's the school fees will be more expensive, and your parent has lost a job. Now from multi racial schools, you will start moving to government schools, to public schools. If you I mean, like from private to public schools, that's not nice. That just depreciates your life a little bit, and that's not nice. You will remember this. So those people who were there in year 2001, the things that happened to them, they didn't know that the force behind it was the economy. Okay, let's move on. Now, I've told you now the impact. Now look at the fact that, let me show you another arrow now. Look at the fact that after year 2000 and here from December, from January year 2002, the economy went back down here. You understand? So when the economy actually goes back down here, what happens? It goes down slowly, months and months and months, until, so it went down until this period. It went down from 2002, as you can see, bottom there, 2003, 2004, 2004 until 2005. As you can see, January 2005, the economy was at the highest for us, but it was at the lowest for Americans. You understand? For us, it was at the highest. So now, the same products, now we can buy it for 5 rand 64. The same products 5 years ago, 4 years ago, in year 2000, and it's at the end of year 2001, we were buying it for 13 rand 84. But now we are simply buying it for 5 rand. So it's cheaper. It's not that the product is cheaper, it's just that our buying power is stronger. We can buy that same, our rand, one their dollar now is not, we don't have to spend 13 rand to buy a dollar. We only have to spend 5 rand to buy a dollar. You understand? So during this period when this as this was fast when I was showing you, but let me show you through the error here, through the arrow. During this period, this thing doesn't move. It moves in years and months and months. These candles, these things, they are for months, each month, each month, each month, each month. So they are moving like this. And so when the economy starts improving, that's where companies, they start, okay, we are no longer paying 13 million. Now we are paying 12 million 50. They start hiring people back. They start opening firms, the factories. They start expanding. If they had reduced theirs, they start adding more products. They start ordering more products from overseas. They start producing more. They start hiring more people. You understand? As it decreases to 9 rand, so we are paying less now. We are able to have that extra money so that we can have extra products. We can improve our products. Now we can do our research and make more better products. So your life improves there. Maybe your dad that was fired during 2001, or your mother that lost a job in 2001, they will get a job now. They will be called, they will call the people that they retrenched and say, ma'am, I'm sorry that we retrenched you, but we want you back now. The branch in Johannesburg or in Pretoria has reopened. It is only because the economy is improving. So it's important that the economy improves, because even people's life starts improving. Then you start, your daddy now can, your mom can start affording good schools for you. They can start affording to be happy. They can start affording to take vacations and start affording to buy a car or to pay back their loan. And maybe their house was repossessed. They can start making plans now. Okay, what can I do to actually get that house again? But now, as you can look at this, the economy improves. Nobody then knows, you see, how long it's going to improve. So let's say you are talking about a period of from year 2002 to 2005. That period, things were actually starting to go well, but you didn't know how long things. There's no worse anxiety than lack of security. You have a job, but you don't know how long you can keep this job. You understand? You have a company for business people, but you don't know how long your customers will be able to afford your product. Because when the economy is good, people can afford products. Understand? The products are not expensive. The people they're getting a raise in their income. Because now this company, now if it has to pay 5 rand, if it has to pay 5 million for something that cost 5 million rands, for something that costs $1 million, that's much less than they ever paid. It means they can be able to pay people more money, give people bonuses, and people start having a better life. So as South Africans, we are concerned about having a better life. Employment is very important, but because even starting businesses, it's hard when you have a business and things keep getting more expensive. Some businesses don't operate well. I can tell you an example of there's a company that I heard about that was dealing with drone technology. Drone technology is actually something that was this company was actually dealing with drone technology in year 2020, when things started to go bad for us, because of coronavirus. But that company shut down. You understand? Because nobody wanted that extra expense. Because when using drones to do things is more like a luxury. They were also doing like music, connecting music in homes, in expensive homes for celebrities. There's a company that did that also as well. Also, that company, nobody wanted louder music, because now everybody wanted now to preserve what they had. So that company had to shut down because nobody wanted the luxury. But when the economy is, everything is working nicely, people are capable of buying luxurious products. So it's really bad. So for business people as well, for any citizen. So now, as you know, in other countries, economies become bad in such a way that people have to move to other countries. Reasonably so. There's no other way they can change their situation. So now, when it gets stronger, people get jobs. Life becomes very nicer for us. We are happy that you are South Africans. Petrol is not, our gas is not that expensive. Things start going down. We are happy. We are happy citizens. We start getting loans. We start getting credits from banks and stuff like that. So until 2005 here, this is 2004 December, but things start again rising. You see. So, but now, basically, I'm not going to explain what I've already explained. That's when it's rise. You know what happens when it starts rising, right? Things are bad, but it rises to this top here. You understand? When it rises to this top here, yes, it rises to 1179. So something that was 567 is now 1179. So it's just bad, you see. But between this period, which was 2004 to 2008, you understand? We all remember. If you don't remember, you can go Google. Just Google the depression of 2008. 2008, the stock market tanked. Everything, the economy was bad in 2008 for every country. It was terrible. Nobody could predict it. But if you could predict it, you would know it's 2004 now. In 4 years' time, I need to preserve everything. I need to invest now because the economy is improving, is becoming worse and worse and worse. If you hadn't improved, you haven't invested. If you had invested, you would keep your investment secured. You understand? You keep your investment secured until 2008, when everything goes boom. People losing their jobs. When it's at the high like this, people lose their jobs and stuff like that. This is a rand, USD against the rand. USD against other currencies, it doesn't mean things are well for America when these things is happening. It's just, I'm talking about us. It has nothing to do with it's just that the American currency, they beat our currency at this period here in 2018. But it doesn't mean when they are dealing with South Africa, they are happy because they have to just pay less. You understand? They have to pay less for our product. You understand that? They have to pay less for our product, and we have to pay them more for their product. That's not good news for us. So now let's just forget about America, talk about us. Let's focus on us. So for us, things are bad. So 2008, things were bad. The economy was bad. You can Google that. You can see, it was terrible for us. So now, and then luckily, markets go up and down, up and down. Luckily, they improved. They improved, started to improve. So companies that retrenched started hiring people. People started, the companies that were bankrupt, they started making plans and rebuilding and stuff like that. Buildings that stopped, the retail. The real estate started to improve. So we have this problem again. So let's delete. Let's just delete these. Let's see what's gonna happen. No, not play. Okay. So okay. As you can see now that, as I explained, that in year 2008 things were bad, and then they started to improve again. So it okay now. I've explained now the history. Now let's just go to the future. What about that? Because you are done with the history. We can see now things started getting much worse after they improved from 2008. Just to be quick, from this period, they started going way worse. You know, previously it was at 13, the high we had. Now it was 17. This year now, where it's at 17, this is now 2017, if I'm not mistaken. In 2016, 2016, our economy is so terrible. The rand is so weak that something that we used to buy for 6 rand in year 2011, we are now buying it in 2016, which is like 5 years later. We are buying it for 17 rand. That's bad. So we have to pay 17 million for something we used to pay 6 million for. That's a lot. So the economy went so bad in this period. So now the reason this economy went so bad, I think there are many reasons. You can say it's because there's a certain government that was there. It's because there was the political party that did and this and didn't do that. There are many factors that affect the economy. You can read about that on the internet, find out what factors affect the state of the economy. But according to this chart, the economy was bad. So it doesn't really matter what factors. The way I've seen it, these things are inevitable. They're just inevitable until there's a drastic policy change, something that will change everything. Then we can start seeing a difference. But if we are just still doing the same things that we've been doing 10 years ago or 5 years ago, nothing's going to change. The charts was going to define for us our future. But to change this chart, we have to, the way I see it, we have to do things that are like radical, you understand? Things that are robust, things that are very effective in such a way that it's obvious to see the changes, not things that look at the same, not implementing the same things or improving a tiny little bit. But let's just make an example. Here you can see, instead of going back to 6 rand, it just stops at 11 and then goes up again. Things are bad for us here. So even if the economy improves, even if the economy improved from 2016, what happens is still it doesn't improve enough. So there are people who lost their job, who will never get their jobs because the companies have lost those factories. They're never going to buy them back. They're never going to rent them back. They've reduced their products. Some have closed down. The economy was too bad here in South Africa. Some have ran away. Some went back to other countries. Even foreign investors and stuff like that. So the economy is like bad. Now we're in this situation that is bad. It went to 11 and then it went up again to 18. This was like here during coronavirus. This is recent in 2020 when it's reached the top. The highest top it ever reached was 19. You understand? 19 rand. That was high. Something. So basically we used to pay 5 rand. We used to pay 6 rand for 6 million. Now we're paying 19 million for the same product, which means inflation is bad. So it means even the products that we buy, the bread, everything is more expensive, because if the raw materials are getting more expensive from our imports, everything gets more expensive. You go to the shop, you buy something, we know that in 2015 things are now more expensive than they were in 2015. And that's inflation. But the thing that influences inflation is this economy of ours. It's bad. But now let's talk about the last part of this series of this lecture. I think I will call it a lecture. So I just remove this because it's going to confuse you. So what I had predicted is that this thing here will not in fact reach this, because it didn't reach this 6 rand, right? It in fact went strong as 11, but this time it won't go strong as 11. It would go strong as maybe this point here as 13. But now look at it, it's at 14.29, so it's closer to its bottom, to its strongest. So our strongest is still the weakest, because still 14 is a lot, still a very low level for our current. But this is our highest point we can reach. After reaching this point, it's obvious what's going to happen. After what goes down comes up, right? So what's going to happen is it's going to go up. Now, because you can see here, it's reached this 17 of 2016, and it's skipped, and it went here to that 18, a new high. Here also we're going to have a new high beyond 20. We're going to have a new high. This thing we're going to move from here. It's going to move from here now to there, from 13 to 2019. And how many people will lose their jobs? How many people will lose their jobs? How many people will lose their pensions? How many people will lose their investment? How many people will lose their marriages? How many people will lose their lives? Because believe me, crime is very, very high now than it ever was in South Africa. It's because of this economy. It's bad, bad, bad. It doesn't matter who we blame. That's a problem with a layman. A layman doesn't understand that blaming somebody doesn't actually really help until something is done. You understand? You can blame somebody if you do nothing about it. But if you don't have a power also to do something, that's another problem. So do you have power to change the economy? Do you not? I will leave that up to you. But who has power to change the economy? You can't give everything and say it's politicians. Every one of us, we have to we have to contribute. The banks have to contribute. The banks have to make to help entrepreneurs start businesses, even though it's tough. But people are we have a highest unemployment rate now. This explains that highest employment rate. Things are more expensive. Inflation is very high, so the rand has a low buying power. So basically, in my prediction is that it's going high. So this prediction is important. Why? It's important because this prediction is important. I'm not going to be writing anything, so I'm going to leave it like this. So this prediction is important because when the economy is going bad, now it doesn't look like the economy is going to improve anytime soon, because these things take years. You see, to reach that 20 is going to maybe take another 5 years, and after reaching that 20, it's going to come maybe to 16, and then go up and maybe reach 25 or 30, which means things are just going to keep going bad and bad and bad for us. What do you do as a normal citizen? What do you do? I don't know. I can't tell you what to do, but I know that I have to do something about it. But it has to start at an individual level. You have to start looking at yourself. What am I doing? Where am I? Am I working for a company? What's the future of this company? This job here, can they replace it with technology? Can I start my own company? Can I find a better job? Can I get more educated? But you gotta do something now, because the economy is at its strongest point right now. It's at its strongest point. Even I work in real estate. Even the banks are giving people money like crazy to get a bond. They're giving people loans. They're giving people bonds. People have jobs. Even though if this coronavirus has hit us, but it's better than when the coronavirus hit us in 2020. But within a year, 2021, things have changed drastically. You understand? So basically now, the next thing that's happening is back to decline. What are you going to do about decline? Okay? I think it's simple. You have to decide what you're going to do. you have to also watch another video I will release. Perhaps I can give you clues on what you can do, maybe in terms of if you can make investment or what kind of investment you might make to protect yourself, what decisions you can make. Some people prefer, let me move out. Some countries are worse in such a way that people are migrating to other countries. They're migrating to other countries because what they're doing is trying to protect their interest, trying to protect their children, the future of their kids. They rather go and suffer somewhere else and get some money. That's why we have people who are foreigners in this country, South Africa. Those people are here for the reason they want they want peace of this economy, because it's better than their countries. It's understandable that you can't allow yourself to suffer where you are and nothing is being done. These countries that are depreciating all over Africa, they keep depreciating, the economy getting worse. There's terrorism, there's a lot of ailments, there's crime, people cannot be safe. So people decide, let's go somewhere, let's go to Europe, let's go to South Africa. So South Africa is still a hub now, but even South Africa is falling. So as a South African, you can't relax and say, but we are safe. You can't be pulled by the wind. You have to decide, okay, now that Vusi has told me this, now that I know the future, I just enlightened you about the future. You never knew about the future. You can go anywhere, even your Sangoma cannot tell you what's going to happen in 5 years. But I just told you in 5 years, this economy of ours is going to be down, 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 down. It's going to be bad. And what are you going to do about it? You have to decide. But your life has to improve. Look at your kids where they are. Look at the fees in universities, look at everything, and look the conditions, the infrastructure, everything, the level of corruption, and look at yourself and think, in 20 years or in 15 years, should I be in this country? Or even if I'm in this country, how much money should I have? Because if to survive in South Africa, to be rich in South Africa, maybe if you needed 1 million rand in the year 2000, now to be considered rich, you need at least 20 million rand. You needed less before, but now you need more to be considered rich. So even salaries, when you earned 10,000, it was a lot. You could get a bond, get a good house. But now if you earn 10,000, you don't even get a house worth 500,000. It's nothing, 10,000 rand. You understand? Now you have to be paid 20,000, 25,000, 30. Sometimes it's also nothing, but at least it's something. If you're in the middle class. In the higher class, you have to get paid 60,000, 100,000 and more. You understand? So if you're a company as well, you have to decide now for your company if you own a company. I hope this helps you a lot to think through a lot of things. Think about investment, think about a lot of other important things, important aspects of your life. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned a lot from it. I'm a South African. I love this country. I wish nothing bad for it, but things are not going to go all right for us. Crime is going to increase. Nobody's going to be safe. It doesn't matter. Even if you be racist if you want and say black people are causing crime or our black government is causing this, it's fine. Do that. It's fine. It's up to you. But action is more important. Instead of being racist or trying to put us down, don't try to pull people down when they're already down. Try to find a solution. Work together and see what you can do to find a solution. Try to, first of all, they say charity starts at home. It starts with yourself. Before you complain about anything else that is outside, start seeing what you can improve within your community, within your